The emperor's favorite became proud,
and she lost her power and was humiliated.
Empress Liu of Zhaoshu, Emperor Zhezong of the Song dynasty.
In the early years of the reign of Emperor Yuanyu, Empress Dowager Jiao, to facilitate the control of Zhaoshu,
arranged for more than 10 old ladies over 40 or 50 years old to take care of his daily life. When the young emperor was 14, he secretly sent someone out to find a so-called nursemaid, Liu, because he was bored with these old ladies. This matter quickly spread outside the palace. The Ministry of Rights and Minister Fan Zhui submitted. The emperor was only 14 years old. It should not be close to the time of the female sex to advise the emperor into virtue and love the body, and asked Queen Dowager Jiao to protect the emperor. The words are powerful. The left counselor Liu Anqi also criticized. Jiao Dowager Empress repeatedly explained in court, claiming that there is no such thing. After the court's return, Liu called the palace maids serving Zhaoshu to interrogate and reprimand them.
Zhao saw that the court ladies returned with red and swollen eyes as if they had cried before, and were scared to death.
Fortunately, Empress Dowager Jiao did not pursue the matter further,
and the so-called wet nurse remained by Zhaoshu's side, which was Liu, 3 years younger than Zhaoshu. Liu's appearance was excellent.
She was also a poet, a good writer, and exceptionally talented, flattering, and ingenious. In the first few years, the two of them did not dare to be overly intimate due to the majesty of Empress Dowager Jiao. When Empress Dowager Jiao died, Liu's status immediately changed from nominal nursemaid
to imperial servant, and she was soon promoted from beauty to Jinyu.
Zhaoshu was not only inseparable from her in the harem, but he also took her with him when he went out. Liu was so favored, there were a lot of ministers flattering. Hanlin scholar Xia Jing wrote 4 poems to flatter her, which has 36 palace people first. The depths of the jade building dream their black. Hao Xua, a eunuch, became Liu's heart and close friend. Liu became so arrogant and proud of her favor that even Empress Meng did not care about her, not to mention the ordinary concubines. Empress Meng was a kind and gentle woman and never fought with her. The palace chamberlain had cold eyes, often to fighting.
In the second year of Shaosheng, Ming led a group of concubines to pay homage to the Jingling Palace.
After the ceremony, Ming took her seat, and all the other concubines stood around respectfully,
except Liu, who deliberately stood far away from her with her back towards her, and was very arrogant and impolite. Winter solstice this year, Ming also led the crowd to Longyu Palace to visit the Empress Dowager. So the Empress Dowager has not yet risen to the temple. We will be seated next to the temporary. The Empress is sitting on a chair decorated with gold. Other concubines can only sit on ordinary chairs. Liu stood aside and did not want to sit down. Her attendant, Hao Xua, knew what her master was thinking and hastened to give her the same chair as the Empress before she sat down.
The concubines looked at Liu angrily in indignation.
Suddenly, someone called out, "The Empress Dowager has arrived." Everyone immediately stood up, and Liu also stood up.
Standing momentarily and not see to the Empress Dowager over, Meng and others had to sit down again. But this time only heard a flop sound. People turned their heads to look, only to see Liu solid fall to the ground, 4 feet to the sky. The original someone she stood up to her should not have been sitting on the chair withdrawn to one side. People saw the situation and roared with laughter, finally out of a mouthful of destructive anger. Liu's usually high and mighty, which cannot stand this kind of trickery, suddenly became angry, face white with anger. The Queen Mother cannot care to see, stumbling to find Zhaoshu to complain about the injustice to Hao Xua with her outer comfort. Your Highness does not have to worry, as long as you can give birth to the official son.
The Empress of the Queen's seat is not worried about is not the Queen's. But Liu did not have the patience to wait until the son's birth. But she did not have the patience to wait for the son's birth. But Liu did not have the patience to wait until the day of the birth of a son. She threw her full anger towards Meng and deliberately wanted Meng down so that she could take over. She conspired with Hao Xua and others to seize Meng's daughter's treatment with Taoist talismans, and do Buddhist prayers and other things to make a fuss, rumors around, and add fuel to the fire to tell Zhao Chesu to raise a lot of wrongful imprisonment, and finally prompted Zhao Hsu to Meng's abolition. Liu squeezed out Meng, proud to the extreme, day and night praying for the position of the palace.
Chancellor Tun and eunuchs Hao Suo, Liu Yuduan, and other sycophants have also repeatedly asked Zhao Shu to set up Liu as the queen.
But Zhao Shu, on the abolition of Meng's a little regret, afraid of their own mistakes again, do not dare to immediately agree.
So the queen's seat is hanging in the air. A few years have not succeeded. Liu's only level of promotion, promoted to the virtuous consort only. Yuanfu, 2 years 1099 years in August. Liu gave birth to Zhao Shu's only son. Zhao Shu was overjoyed, that is, in September of, the Imperial decree Liu as Empress.
Liu thought this was always the right thing to do, but wanted the bureaucrats to refrain from resisting the advice and hindrance. Zhu Hao, the proper minister, wrote a letter of advice. Zhao Hsu was not happy, but did not get angry. But Liu's hatred for Zhu Hao was so intense that she blew a lot of pillow air on Zhao Shu in the evening. Dalton went to the court the next day and scolded Zhu Hao for his arrogance. Zhao Shu then ordered Zhu Hao to be removed from the list and sent to Xinzhou, now Xinxing, Guangdong, to be detained. Those ministers who interceded for Zhu Hao were either demoted or arrested and imprisoned.
On September 27th, Zhao Hsu boarded the Wendy Hall to hold a ceremony for the installation of the Empress.
Liu went to great lengths to become the queen, naturally joyful.
But unexpectedly, joy brings sorrow when the queen, just after 29 days, her son Feng Yuang fell ill and died young. Zhao Shu suffered this blow. Grief, but also fell ill. Yuanfu, 3 years 1100 years on the 8th day of the first month, died in the palace of Fuening.
Liu lost 2 relatives in a few months and became a widow at 31. After the death of Emperor Zhezong, Emperor Huizong Zhaoji assumed the throne, and Empress Dowager Xiang was appointed Empress Yuanfu. The Empress Dowager was so disgusted with her that she took Meng back to the palace, reinstated her as Empress, and suppressed her in many ways while Zhu Hao and others were reinstated in their official positions. Liu was forced to be honest for a while, but when Empress Dowager Xiang and Consort Zhu died,
Liu colluded with Xi Jing, who had become the prime minister, to attack Zhu Hao and Meng again. In the beginning, Zhu Hao was exiled for admonition and submitted to Zhao Shu's warning to stay in the palace for a long time.
I do not know where it is sealed. Huizong Zhaoji and others have yet to see it. Zhu Hao's official reinstatement, Liu's to offend Zhu Hao, in the first year of Qingqing 1102 between May and June,
authorized Xi Jing to find someone to forge Zhu Hao's remonstrance.
This remonstrance was forged extremely poorly and absurdly, not to mention that Zhu Hao, as a minister, could not possibly say wildly contrary words, and even the allusions quoted therein were also grossly inaccurate.
Xi Jing, who claimed to be a learned man, was so eager to pat the horse and so anxious to
make people hold that he disregarded even this obvious fallacy.
At the same time, Xi Jing, at Liu's behest, forged a copy of Liu's statement of defense in Yuanfu 2, and handed it over to Zhao Ji together with the forged admonition of Zhu Hao. Zhao Ji is extremely stupid.
Right and wrong do not distinguish, even believe in the truth.
In the first year of Chongning 1102 years, Li Jun issued an imperial decree to depreciate Zhu Hao for the Hangzhou Bu, escorted to the Yongzhou today Zuiling, Hunan province to settle. Xi Jing also arranged for his party members to replace him. Liu wrote a thank you form to Daoji. Zhao Ji even ordered the delivery of the Museum of History, recorded in the annals of history.
Liu finished venting his hatred for Zhu Hao and then pointed the spearhead of revenge at Meng. 3 months later, Xi Jing borrowed the Chengzhou magistrate Feng Gushu and a group of the warning of the mouth of Meng again, abolished the Yaohua Palace, and all involved in the activities of restoration of Meng and Zhu Hao, and close relations with the bureaucrats have been relegated to exile.
Feng Zhiki was promoted to the capital when the Hongyu Temple chief book. In February of the second year of Qingqing 1103, Liu was honored as the Empress Dowager,
and her residence was named Kongan Palace, which Emperor Huizong respected.
She not only drove away the rival, but also improved the status. Complacent, they once again high and mighty, relying on their status, did not move to intervene in the dynasty. Zhao Ji and the court ministers are not satisfied with the loneliness of the pepper room,
but also to do things to hurt the wind and corrupt the custom of the hook, was found, spread all over the city. After some time, Zhao Ji was disgusted by her behavior and discussed with his ministers to abolish her. Will use side of the eunuchs and chamberlains in her power, but also tolerate her domineering and shrewdness to her flattering.
and now heard that she is difficult to protect themselves, but also a change of attitude. She was abusive, used shame and anger, ashamed.
Coupled with the pain of the loss of his son and his father, in the 3 years of the political and the 3rd month of February 1113 years.
In the bedroom on the hooks of the curtain hanged himself to death. She was 34 years old.